a lot of the
Hey.
The breath.
good
Crystal.
evening.
I ain't got my go today. My
No, but you
problem.
took a breath like,
I did.
Right.
yeah.
That's the
Like,
heat.
don't be coming on us like that.
I'm sorry.
Like,
That's the heat,
goodness.
y'all. Like, it's
Hey,
a lot.
everybody.
Right.
Wait, I had to see what was going on with that first. You
Yes,
good?
I'm fine. I'm
Okay,
fine. I'm
okay,
fine.
okay.
I'm
Check
trying
in.
to
She
post
good.
it.
Hey, y'all. We are here tonight for another episode of Session 35 podcast. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight. But tonight it is on Kira. She got this.
I was just about to say that.
I
You
like
not-
it.
why you
I
talking
like
so
it.
soft?
I like the soft.
No, that's because she
trying to
thinks she loud. It do. It feel like I'm so loud. Like
When I go back and watch it, I
No.
feel like we be so, and we really don't be.
We don't.
But it seemed like it.
I think it's because we're looking at ourselves, we judging ourselves. You know
That's
how you just
always.
be like, oh my god, I sound crazy, or I just
I just
we
feel like we be
just-
yelling. That's all.
We be trying to get our point across. It's okay. Okay,
We
so
be
tonight,
yelling,
y'all, we're gonna be talking about B. Simone and her best friend.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna use
You
that
know.
word. Allegedly.
I don't know, one of her best friends. Let's just say that then.
right.
Allegedly.
But we had a lot
One
of
of many.
I like
mixed
that.
emotions
many.
about this topic. And I'm like, let's talk about it, y'all. Do y'all think she's a bad friend or a good friend? So after the BET Awards, her and her best friend, they was chilling, chatting it up like you would do. We in a house, and she has this podcast called Let's Try Again Podcast. So the friend is explaining to her, let's just say this is the only topic we're talking about today is about the friendship. This podcast episode was about so much more,
Mhm.
but we're just going to focus on the friendship part. So in this topic, her best friend was just explaining to her, like, she went through having to move in her mom's house. She was on what she said, Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have a job. She was basically, going through a financial scare.
Mm-hmm.
And she noticed that her best friend, being a celebrity, helped everyone else out.
Mhm.
She didn't seem like she had a grudge against her, which was,
She did.
you think she did?
I ain't gonna say
I
a
think she
grudge,
hid
but she
it
still
very
resent.
well.
She
I
has.
think
She
it was,
still has
yeah.
some
I
resentment.
definitely remember I told you that when I got a question about that.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
let's just say she chose her words very wisely, speaking about the
did.
topic.
I think she
And
prepared.
did.
Yeah, she
I
did.
think she prepared
So
herself.
y'all think this was scripted?
for
Or
I'm
she
not
just
gonna say scripted, but I think
She was ready to
prepared
answer those
herself
questions. Yeah.
to let her know how she was really feeling,
Mhm.
and she just said it to be not so hurtful. You
Yeah.
know?
I
But
agree on that one.
Mhm.
So she also talked to her about being there for her when her grandmother passed. She said, B. Simone said everything like, let me know what I could do for you. But
Mhm.
she felt like she just wanted her to come and do it.
Do it. And she said,
She just wanted her
And
to
she
come
said
with
it.
her and just be with her. But are we supposed to read minds, or do we supposed to already know? Do y'all know? Okay, let me say this, because I always say this. Are we taught how to be a friend?
No,
Are we
You're
taught
not.
how to
not
be
properly.
comforting to deal with grief? We're never taught that, right?
but I think you're taught to learn people.
Definitely.
So if you
Yeah.
learn your friend, then you know how your
Mhm.
friend operate. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
for me, I would know that if my friend really needed me or not. Like
Mhm.
I feel like rather them saying they don't need me, if it's a situation, I know
Mhm.
where I need to be. If
Mhm.
if this really is my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So from
Agreed.
all that, if you were judging from that conversation that happened on that couch,
Just that conversation.
just that
on the couch?
conversation about
Okay.
that couch, about her losing her job, her
Mhm.
losing her grandmother, and her seeing her best friend helping everyone else,
And not helping her.
and not
And not
helping
helping
her,
her.
would you judge her off saying she's the best friend or a good friend?
I wouldn't call her my best friend.
Well, when I was watching it, I remember B. Simone. She had mentioned her own financial struggles in the beginning of that video.
did.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mhm.
mentioned that people think just because you pop it on social media, you got this and you got that. So she
Right.
mentioned that she got a few things like some jewelry, of course, that she could trade in and get money for, but her liquid money was just not that.
Mhm.
So I feel like the problem with when it comes to even celebrities. And I ain't no celebrity, but if I know, I just feel like I know how things would be if you had all that kind of money, or you people think you got all this kind of money.
Right.
That girl was not, well, I don't know personally, but what they say it is, she wasn't homeless. You know what I'm saying? Because you had to go back and live at home with your parents because maybe you was living outside of your means, or maybe life just hit you hard. That's not
Right.
B. Simone's responsibility, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Now, if you were struggling so bad and you needed something and you came to ask, I'm pretty sure she would have gave it to her if she asked, but she didn't ask. She expected for her to just show up with money.
That was my next question.
And that's not a bad friend or a good friend. You know, you don't know what my pockets is today. So if I didn't show up with something, maybe I couldn't. And then their friendship at the time apparently was on some rocky stages. So I'm not going to be beefed out with a friend of mine. Not trying to say I wouldn't help you if you was homeless, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But if you just scaling back some because you living outside your means, or maybe the money ain't hitting right now, I'm not about to just show up. Here's $10,000.
Right.
You're not
be like,
struggling.
girl,
Mhm.
what-
I mean,
what
you're
you
just in a
need this
bad
for?
space right
Yeah.
now, and we've all been there. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna just keep coming to pick people up. That's how people go broke, and that's how you find users,
Mhm.
because you think I'm supposed to just come give it to you just because you're having a hard moment. If she was on the
Yeah.
street, sure, you a bad friend. If you saw your friend homeless on the
Mhm.
street with her
but
child,
on
and
that
didn't help.
conversation, on that couch, do you? I and I watched it twice.
Yeah,
It was never brought to my attention that she told B. Simone what she was going through
She probably
within
did.
this
Right.
she
year.
probably didn't.
Mhm.
Because
She
I don't
probably
tell my
did.
friends everything I'm going
Yeah.
through.
Right.
Right.
Nobody does. I
So
don't
how is
think.
she a bad friend? Because you didn't tell her what was
Right.
exactly going on.
And I kept listening for that. I wondered, like, did she
Did
even
she
know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think it was enough context behind that.
No.
Far
it wasn't. I
as,
don't think it was
like,
either.
for because we don't, you don't know when, you don't know how, you don't know why. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to look like B. Simone is a bad friend.
Definitely,
know,
it definitely looked
because we
like that
think
the
she
way.
got
That's the
money.
way
You
Yeah.
don't
every
really
friend
know
put out there.
what that context was behind it. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that she was a bad friend. I wouldn't say that she was a good friend because of that. Because we don't know the
We don't
context
know the
behind it.
But the
Mhm.
way that her friend spoke life into their friendship, it makes me
Mhm.
think that she was a good friend.
Right.
It's just something that happened. Friendships are not perfect, just like
Mhm.
relationships.
Right.
And it don't make me feel like she was a bad, but at the same time, she's not obligated to help you either.
No.
That's what a lot of people like. Oh, she's a bad friend because you're supposed to
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
You don't have
Right,
to.
we got friends that I might have an
Yeah.
extra $500 today, and so I mean
Mhm.
I'm supposed to go give it to my one friend because she got some. This could
Yeah.
be used something towards something I'm really gonna need next month. You know what I'm saying? I'm not obligated to give you something because you're down and out in that moment. Like if my friend was no food, duh,
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
taking this to her.
Right.
Yeah.
You homeless, duh, I'm coming to get you.
Right.
But you're not gonna tell me I'm obligated to give you something because you had to go back and
Yeah.
home live with parents.
Yeah, I
and
would
start
not say that
a
was homeless.
reset.
So when she
Yeah.
said that,
Not
I was like,
homeless.
that's not homeless.
She just
See,
down and
for
out.
me, it was more than
you know.
just that.
What was
For me, it was the money issue was the smallest problem
That
for
the
me.
smallest problem.
Mhm.
For me, it was when she spoke on her reaching out to her and bringing her great news
I was
and
gonna get into-
her
I was gonna get into
dumbing
that
it
too. I was gonna get into
down
that.
Yeah.
and making it seem as if it wasn't important.
Yeah.
That is where I call her
But
a bad friend.
she took the accountability
That's
for
why I
it.
She
wanna
took
comment
the
on.
no,
Yeah.
don't
She
get me
did
wrong.
speak-
I really feel like B. Simone is somebody who really speak her truth.
Thank
like
you.
she speak her truth and what
Mhm.
she's really feeling because she
Exactly.
did not have to let her know that she was feeling jealous.
Thank you,
okay?
Karen.
Not at
Oh,
all.
she
Because
didn't
she
have to
was
tell her that
feeling
at
jealous.
And she said, I
all.
called her
that.
right back. She said, I had
Yeah.
to go through my emotions.
Yeah, I gave
And I
her
like
grace
that.
on that.
The money
I
part
gave her grace.
is what
Yeah.
took everybody into a loop. And it was
Mhm.
just like, wait, the main issue rolled over everybody's head because everybody look at material things when if it's a true friendship, you really know your friend. So maybe her friend knew that she couldn't give her what she really didn't have. People be on the outside
Yeah.
looking
You gotta
in
know your
thinking
friend.
that you
Mhm.
got this bag because you live in a certain type of way. Like she said, her money is tied up in different investments and different
Mhm.
things. And people don't know that when you're trying to make big money moves, your money might be tied up in certain
Mhm,
things and you
mhm.
might can't move money how you want to.
Mhm.
But if I call you and I'm looking for an uplifting and I'm down and I need somebody to pick me up,
Mhm.
that's where a best friend come in at. But the whole world took it as the money issue.
Money,
Definitely.
yeah.
Everybody ran
And jealousy.
with the
Mhm.
money part, and
And
it was
jealousy.
like, wait,
It was all about
this
the money.
money
jealousy.
issue was like a small portion
Very small.
of
Yeah.
their friendship. And she also stated that they took a break, whatever
Mhm.
that meant.
Mhm.
So that means a
Mhm.
falling out happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We rekindled.
You can see where
So
it happened.
You don't know
Mhm.
that if we fall out and rekindle, that word best friend may still linger, but the things that come along with that may not be the same, to where I feel like I'm obligated to drop some bands in your hand. You
Yeah.
may need to
Thank
work
you.
yourself back to that,
That's all I
where
was
we
saying.
get back to that point. But we put titles so young. We call somebody a
Mhm.
best friend at 8
Come
and
on.
9 and 10 and
Come
12.
on. You're
And
And we're
then
not
when you
learning what a
get-
best friend
Yeah,
is. So we
pretty
when you
don't
much.
get
wanna-
grown and
Yeah,
you become an
preach it.
adult,
See what I'm saying?
you really
Call
learn
everybody
what
your
a
best
best
friend.
friend is.
Yes.
So we sometimes still call them that, but that's
Yeah.
not really what they
So
are.
would you
And I
say-
think that's probably what they is. They
Yeah,
may
I
have been
so there's
best
a
friends.
difference between best friend and friend.
Most definitely.
Yes, of course.
Best
What is the-
friends,
what's the
friends,
difference?
and
A big difference.
associates. It's a big
Honestly,
difference.
If a friend, if you have any type of friend, you're supposed to trust them, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference with a best friend and a
I
friend?
don't know. Maybe just one is closer than the other one. That's just the only
I
way
think
I
the
see it.
best
could say-
friend is closer.
'Cause
Like, that's
so
the
I
reason
think
you
it's
put the
Kitty
best
when we talk
on
about
it.
it the other way. I think the best is just closer.
if you a friend, you like a best friend. If I call you
Yeah.
friend at this stage and age, at what they say at this big age,
At
At
this
this
big
big
age.
age.
Yes.
I'm 41.
Mhm.
If you my friend, you my friend. There's no such thing right now in my life as a best friend and a friend.
Yeah.
Because if I call you friend, because I don't use that word loosely anymore.
Nope,
can't.
You
We
can't.
too
Like
old.
she said,
yes.
it's used too loosely now.
Yeah.
So if
Mhm.
you my friend, then you my friend. I call you friend, and I'm going to expect you to be my friend,
Mhm.
just like I'm going to be a friend to
I'm
you.
happy you said expect. So if
Yeah.
I do something for you, do you expect to get it back in return? Or
Uh,
are you doing it out of the kindness of your heart?
no, I don't expect it. I don't expect me out of my friends,
That's all.
Mhm.
That was my point.
and
don't
that's I
expect
think
you
that's
out of
where
them.
we go wrong at.
Yeah.
That's
you
where a lot of
know,
us go wrong at.
a
And I
lot
will
of
say
us
that's
go
probably
wrong
a
there.
period. That's
Yeah.
probably an area that I kind of grew out of, expecting
Mhm.
me from others. And I'm
Definitely.
just now in that
Mhm.
space.
Mhm.
But I still think it's a lot more context that need to go with that,
Most
because
definitely.
it's
I
I
not
still
that
expect for
I'm-
you to be a friend
Yeah.
though.
because we
I'm
gotta make
expecting you to
sure
show
you
up.
can't be
Yeah.
in the
nothing
ways
to
that
me.
Yeah.
you can show
But
up.
you
Yeah.
you probably can't show up like I can show up.
And that's
Exactly.
fine.
You probably
but-
don't know how to show up like I
Mhm.
can show
Very
up.
true.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I had a mother that actually talked to us. You know, she
Mhm.
talked to her kids. So I had a parent, I had a mother, and even my father to a certain extent showed me how to be a friend.
Mm.
You know, my grandparents, my aunties, you know, they all showed me how to be
It's
a
very
friend.
rarely.
It's very
Very
rare.
rare.
It's very rare.
Yep.
They showed us how to be adults, you
Mm-hmm.
know, children, you know, things, you know, the things that we supposed to do in life. So I had a mother that taught me to how to be a friend, the girl code, and what you're not supposed to do, what
and
you
not
you know.
everybody has that.
And everybody don't have that. So
Yeah.
I can't expect for my friends to be me, give me back the same thing
They
I
didn't
said.
get that.
Like the whole money thing.
And
with
they're
her.
not you.
I want to
And
touch right. They're not.
They're
me.
not.
I want to touch on that. You can't clock your friend's pocket.
That
You-
part.
That's the main.
Thank you.
That's the
all
main
that's
issue.
why-
You
That's the
cannot
number
clock
one
my
issue with
pockets.
this.
I tell
is
a
that
person
they're
in a
clocking
minute.
her pocket.
You
Yeah,
cannot
you-
clock my pockets.
No,
Boo boo.
you
You
can't.
cannot clock
And being
my
a
pockets.
celebrity,
And
they
if you
say
know
half
me-
of that stuff is given to them. So you
True.
could have
Half
known
of
that
that
was
stuff
probably
do.
for TV or
Yeah.
a show or something by
But
her
if-
giving
yeah.
somebody some money.
If you know me and
Exactly.
then you call me your friend, you know if I'm holding back, if I'm
Yeah.
selfish.
Everything is
But-
about.
If you
knowing
know, if I'm your
somebody.
friend, you know I'm not selfish. You know I'm not.
But
if I was
closed
giving
mouths
to
don't
you,
get
I can.
fed.
That
part
too.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
But I also want to comment when
You
you was
know?
talking about when she said, what's the lady's name? Is her name Shakana?
Shakana.
Okay, when
Yeah.
Shakana mentioned that she had got that opportunity, et cetera, and when she
Mhm.
called B Simone and she felt slighted by her response to it because she didn't feel like she had that great support response to her.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to point out is, yeah, that can be a moment in friendships. We look at it like, oh, why she wasn't excited for me and stuff like that. It could be a little snake moment, however y'all want to call it. That's fine. But she said when she called her back and what did she say? She kind of brung up that moment. She's like, I didn't like how
She
I
brought
felt
up her feelings.
when
And I
I
liked
felt.
that.
I love that because the
she
problem
checked
is
herself.
people
Yes.
so often. How often do your friend call you and
Never.
give you that kind of vulnerability?
Come on.
And that's the
Never.
problem with
They
people. Y'all
don't.
not
Never.
used
Yeah.
to being real for real.
Yeah.
A lot of your friends that
Thank
y'all
you.
are out there coming and saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's somebody you don't want around." You know, that is somebody
That's
you
somebody you
want.
want
I do
around.
want
around
You want
her.
someone you
You
don't
know
want
why?
a yes
Yeah.
Allow her some grace.
Yeah.
She's recognizing the flaw that she has,
Yes.
and she called to fix it. Or you
Yes.
want the other friend that's just gonna sit there and act like
Yeah.
they excited, and the whole time they shady
They
on the
envious.
inside.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No.
After
Trust
that, I
me, you
gave
want
her
that
grace.
vulnerable
Yeah.
girl.
After
You want that.
Yeah.
Lay it out on the
Yeah.
floor.
And
Be
like,
mean,
you-
she
like you said,
also
Jen, she
stated-
did not have to say that.
She
She
did.
didn't.
But
She could have
for
said it
me,
on her
when
own.
I went
Yeah.
back and watched the
You
full
know?
podcast, I understand that, people put out what they think gonna sell. So they put out
Thank
a
you.
portion of the clip.
Yes.
And if you
Yeah.
didn't
That's
really
what
watch
happened.
it, you wouldn't
Mhm.
understand
Yep.
where their friendship really went
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
the vulnerability
So that's my
that
next
she
question.
gave
Mhm.
in
Uh-huh.
saying that I apologize. I
Yeah.
realized these feelings that I was having was something that
was
I
deep
shouldn't be
rooted.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was deep rooted.
And
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me, that was
Yeah, that
enough
was
to
sad.
say, let's give this friendship a chance.
Thank you.
And
That's all. Continue
with
showing
her
up. That's what
saying
happened.
Yeah.
that I'm working on me and I'm trying to change. And when
Mhm.
she called her selfish, she asked her, in what ways do you
Uh-huh.
feel that I'm selfish? And what can I do to fix
And is
the
it a
ways
bad way or
that
a
you
good way?
think?
Yes.
And is it a good way and a bad
Yes.
way?
Those are the
Right.
And
friends you
those
want.
are the type of
Mhm.
people, those are the conversations you want.
Yes.
Whether it's with a
Yes.
friend,
Yeah.
whether it's
That was
with
a
a
very hard
husband, whether
conversation.
it's with,
Anybody.
but
Any
people want
relationship.
you to lie to them.
Yes.
They want you
Uh-huh.
to pretend. They
Yes.
want you to fake it.
Yes.
And it's like, no,
And
I'm
that's
going to
where
tell you
friendships
that that
end.
man is no good for you. It's up to
Thank
you
you.
to
Mhm.
decide if
Thank
you
you.
want to stay with him. I'm not going to tell you to leave your man, but I'm going to tell you that this is what I think. This is how I think he make you feel. This is how I think he
Thank
make you
you.
act.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to leave him or not, we gonna still ride because this my friend. I'm not gonna change how I feel about you as long as you don't change how you act towards me. But
Right.
so many people get in the act of the control. It's like if you
Yeah.
don't do exactly what I say when I say it, and from those clippings, that's what you will get from B. Simone. You would think
Yeah.
that she's a controlling friend.
You would.
You would think that
I
she's
think
a.
she is.
I mean,
But
she
she
had a little. I was just about to say
I
she
think
had a
she
little.
is.
But those are those flaws that she's coming out
I
with.
think
You
that's
see
a
it,
flaw.
Those
and I
are
love
the deep
that.
roots that she talk
Yeah.
about with neglect and the way she grew up with her
And
just
the,
like
parents.
it is
that's
on the
the way
front
how
street.
she
Well,
said she's
she's
she
like
want
that with
all
her
her
sister.
friends. Yeah, she said that she was like, if y'all is in my group, like she said with Tyler Perry when
Uh-huh.
she gave that example, she want everybody to be on her team, but she had
Yeah.
to think about that. Like, hey, they got
Uh-huh.
to adventure
It's
their
not
own.
what you
Yeah,
say,
no,
it's
no, no.
how you
say
say it.
Yeah.
I said
I
this-
got
So
everything
listen.
she was saying.
You know,
I got
But
it.
it was what she, it was the way
how-
she
it
said
was-
it.
yes.
But baby,
But-
I understood.
Thank you.
I
Thank
understood.
you.
I
I
got
was just
it.
talking about this an hour
But
ago.
real people
You're
won't
going to
understand.
get
You're
that.
only going to
Yeah.
understand it if you're
'Cause they-
real.
it's
So
like-
if you're not, you're going to
Yeah.
look at it as
See?
if she's trying to, everything is about her or she want everything.
It's not.
No,
It's
I'm
not.
saying
But
that
listen,
let's
really
work
not.
this plan.
Right.
And when we go
So
to this
here-
plan, then I'm going to bring you in and then
And that's
you
all
move.
she was saying.
But
And then
they
you
don't
can
want
move.
that.
Yes.
Right.
So when
they
she
don't want
mentioned that
Yeah.
part about Tyler Perry part, right? When she, because what will throw you off is you hearing that little one statement of her saying, "I'm trying to build my app, and I need everybody on board with me. If you're not, you trying to do other stuff on the side, you don't need to be here."
That's
Was
not what
not
she was
what
saying.
What she was saying.
Yeah.
Nah.
Because to build something from the ground up, you need a team, right? She's
Yeah.
recognizing
Team.
she needs
Need a
help.
team.
So what she
Exactly.
want is
Yeah.
it to pop off. She can't have. I can't build this podcast, and I mean, I can't open up a daycare center and this guy over here is a chef and want to come help you. Well, you go supposed to be cooking somewhere. You have nothing to do with this daycare that I'm trying to open.
Right.
So I need somebody whose focus is over here. And what she said was, if you somebody who's want to be a boss in logistics, right?
Yeah.
I need that. So come over
Yeah.
here and be a boss over here, so
That's
we can
all she
build
was saying.
together.
Yeah.
She was just trying to make sure everybody's
Yes.
on the same
And she
page.
said if you wanted
Yeah.
to leave, just
Then
let
you
me know
can.
ahead of time so
Yeah.
I can. She
And
was
she
never
also said she
saying
would
it
invest in
negative.
Yeah.
them. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
But we,
But it's just
we
how she
as
said
a
it.
culture,
Yeah.
we're not going to do that. Why? Because we look at it as this one person ruling, this one person in charge, and nobody wants a leader.
At
When
all.
they don't understand that every business has to have a leader.
Yes.
Every
Exactly.
household has to have a leader. Every
Exactly.
job has to
Yes.
have a leader. But in our
Somebody gotta
community,
run it.
nobody don't want to be somebody on top. One person
Mhm.
has to be on top.
Mhm.
One person has to run it. But you
Yes.
rather go let somebody else be on top than somebody you know. If I say I'm starting a business right now, which I have, I've started a business. You think it's people that I know that's saying, "Oh, let me come and work for you. Let me
No.
do this." No,
course
you're
not.
gonna go. You got to go get a publicist. You got to go
Right.
get a marketing person. You got to
Right.
because you can't depend on a person that you know. That's what she's saying to do that. Because the first thing they're gonna do is look at it like, "Oh, she thinks she better than me. Oh, she
Right.
thinks she running this. Oh, she." No, this is my show. This
Mhm.
is my brand. This is mine.
Yeah.
And when we get into a certain space, if you trying to be a millionaire, if this what you saying, I'm gonna make you that. But
Yeah.
nobody want to take a seat in the back.
And that's
Yeah.
all
Everybody
she-
want to
yeah.
be a
She wasn't-
driver.
I really
it's
feel
only
like
one
she wasn't.
driver's seat.
I
So-
like that though. At first I kind of took it the wrong way too.
Until you listen.
Until
And
you
then I had to
watched it.
sit. I had to.
I had to watch
I had
Sit in
to.
it.
I had to sit in that. Not only did I have to sit in that, I had to continue to listen and
Mhm.
take my thoughts out of it.
Yes.
So
And
when I
feelings.
said that, I said, "Oh, I'm the same way."
Mhm.
Exactly.
I love to build something, and I love for people, especially if I know you.
Yes. Why wouldn't
you
I
to
want
grow
the people
with me.
And you
I
know
with
want
me
you to
on
be
my
with me.
team?
But
Why
at
wouldn't I
the
want
same
my
time-
sister,
Right.
my auntie, my
But
brother?
at the same time,
my,
it ain't
what are
realistic
you?
either.
It's
I'm
not.
gonna comment to that
It's
too,
not
because she also
realistic.
said when she called about the opportunity, it wasn't that she was just jealous. She just hated she wasn't in a position to give that to her.
Yes.
She kept
Right.
saying like
Yeah.
it wasn't that I didn't want them to give it to. It's more like
Right.
I
she-
wanted
she
to
said
give
she
it to.
fell
I
off.
wanted to put in the.
Remember
I
she
thought I
said
was going to
that.
be in a
in a
position
position
that
Yeah.
I could
Yes.
give this to you.
Yes.
and who ain't doing
But
that? Y'all
she
gotta think
also
that's her
said
best
that
friend.
she
She
made
wants
to
$1
give her
million in one
Mhm.
day,
She
and then
did.
the next day, social
did.
media cut it in half
Mhm.
because they didn't
Mhm.
like what she said.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
she said, "What is that? I lost 90%
Mhm.
of my funding in one day."
Yeah.
So she thought she would be in a predicament where she can put her friends on, where she can do these different things, but it didn't happen in that favor.
That's what
And
her
that's
and everybody
life.
slapped
And it's
her in the
life,
face for it.
yeah.
But that
That's
was
what
her
people do.
frustration. That's where
Yeah.
she tried to explain that that's
Yep.
what she thought it was
Mhm.
coming from. She didn't want it to come from jealousy. And if it was that, at least she called to put it on Front Street.
She
And
did.
I
so-
love it.
And I get it.
I love
At
that.
first, I was like,
love-
"What the
Please
hell?"
only be that
I
friend.
need more friends
But
like
when
that.
she said, "Y'all," I called her right back immediately.
Yes.
Even though,
Yeah, I knew it was
but the
genuine.
world is not
Yeah,
gonna.
they didn't
They're not
take
gonna
that part.
take
Mm-mm.
that.
Crazy
Yeah.
thing is y'all won't
You
friends
can't-
like that.
You can't. Even if I felt that, no, they would feel better if I pretended and I
Mhm.
picked up the phone and I just called her back and said, "Oh, girl, I was just in a bad mood when you just called me, and now I woke up out the bed and I."
But
No,
that ain't even the truth.
tell
You know what I'm
me
saying?
what you really was
And
feeling.
she did.
Even
So-
if you in a relationship,
Because you want to know
So
what
when
it's
they were on the
called?
couch,
It's called growth.
and they yeah.
growth. She
growth
said
and
that.
maturity.
She said
Because
she's
if she
growing.
had not went through all the stuff that she went through and got God in her life and recognized where she would have never recognized that. I'm even like that. Because
Mhm.
you know my walk has changed. I have fully surrendered my life over to the Lord, and it's sad that she is in the limelight. That we all got to see this change and the maturity
And they're
of it
judging
all.
her.
And they
on
judging
it.
her instead of giving her grace.
Her grace.
But
Yeah.
you know
So we
what?
don't give each other grace.
We
That's
We
the problem.
don't.
We don't.
And
That's
that's
the problem.
so sad.
Mhm.
There's
I feel
not.
so bad.
They
Every
take
relationship.
one, you can
Any
say
type of
500
relationship.
words,
Yeah.
and they're
We're
only
gonna
going to
take out
take
that-
3
that-
words,
yes.
and those are the only 3 words that everybody
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
So the only 3 things that everybody heard was her friend was broke, and she left her broke,
Uh-huh.
and she
So when I
didn't
had an
help her,
opportunity,
and she
yeah.
rich, and
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah,
what
and
really
that's not
happened.
what really happened.
And when we use this word, you can be someone's best friend and they not be yours.
Mhm.
She
Come
never
on.
called her
That's
her
true.
best friend.
Mhm.
So
She
she
didn't.
never called her
She
her best
didn't.
friend. So therefore, the whole world is
She
saying
called her sissy.
the whole world is
Well,
saying
I still
she
say that-
left her
I
best
think that's the
friend.
best.
dry.
That's
Okay,
more
well, you
than,
know
that's
what?
more than
Yeah.
a friend. You my family.
I said that too. I say
You
that
my
too. If
family.
I call you my sister, you
I
are
mean,
more
family.
than
You're
a
not.
friend.
You're more than a friend. So let's talk
You're
about
like
that. They
my
were sitting on
sister.
this couch.
You're
They having this
family.
conversation. Do y'all feel like her friend should kind of wanted to say more?
Yes.
Yes.
And
She
just
held back.
didn't- She held
Yes.
back to me too.
She protected
held
their
back.
friendship.
Because she know her
Only-
friend.
She know her friend. You took
You
the
have
words,
to
right?
know
She
your
know her
friend.
triggers.
Yeah.
She know what would make her. She
Baby,
know
she
her
got triggered
friend.
a couple times.
She got triggered, but
That
but
she
the,
did.
But
the
she
good
know her
thing
triggers.
is, I'm sorry, and the good thing is though, homegirl, she got triggered a couple times.
Mhm.
But the good thing about it
Uh-huh.
is, B Simone strikes me as the type of person that can handle when you come tell me about myself.
Yeah.
I may be mad.
I feel like
may
she
be,
handled it well.
I like
I
their
may be
tone.
annoyed, but I just be like,
Their tone was no
Oh,
street.
no.
There was no
No.
attitude.
Mm-mm.
she seemed like she could take it.
No,
I think she can
held
take it to
in.
a certain
She
extent.
held it
I mean,
in.
we gotta remember
Yes.
too.
She can
This
take
is
it, though.
also
She said
social
she's
media, and
changing.
they're gonna get ridiculed regardless. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think it was more also like I'm gonna keep my composure as well.
Yeah.
But behind closed doors, I think they can have those conversations because certain things that she said, not everybody's
Yeah.
asking for
I
that.
still don't agree.
I think they can have
though,
them,
with
Yeah.
but
her.
that don't mean that's gonna sit well with her.
And
You know
it
what I'm
will
saying?
be,
Like,
and that's a human person.
I think it might
It's
take a
never gonna
couple of
stay with-
days,
and that's
though.
fine.
What?
She gives me that. I don't know that vibe. I don't know. She just gives me
But
that
that's
vibe.
that's
okay,
everyone
though.
is different.
Which
No,
is
she-
fine. Yeah,
she-
it is
She
fine.
got the vibe of.
I don't
she
care if it
really
took
got
you a
the
month
I
to
don't
settle
give a
with
fuck
it. Yeah,
attitude.
That's me sometimes. It takes
That's
me
what
a
it
long
was.
time to have a
Yeah.
conversation.
I mean,
See?
but
And it doesn't mean
And
that
it's
I don't
okay.
care.
no,
I'm trying to fill
she
out my
had
feelings.
the I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck attitude.
You think
and
so?
I
kinda do
believe
too,
that
a
she
little
had
bit.
that.
I didn't get that.
But
I didn't get that.
I didn't
It's in
see it
her.
in a bad way.
But that's in
I
everybody
saw
some
it
other
as-
way.
I feel it.
I saw it as
You know
the-
what?
I know this about myself. You're
Yeah,
not
this
telling
is
me
what I saw.
anything that I don't know about me. You're not telling me anything that I don't accept
Thank
about
you.
me.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
not telling me anything
So-
that I already haven't told myself.
So
I think she knew all of this was coming.
yeah.
She
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah, because you.
And
But I didn't- you know what, how
I
you
didn't
are.
know the behind the scenes on why somebody didn't help somebody too, and we
They-
don't.
We
know.
don't know. We're just
the
seeing what's on
why.
social media.
But and I agree with you.
We don't know.
I don't think I took it as I don't give a fuck attitude. I took it as B Simone is in her own space of trying to learn who the hell she is.
Yeah.
She's been through so much and she's
Mhm.
coming out
and
of
that's
so
a lot
much
of work.
So I think she did
A
so
lot
much
of
work where you can't harm me with
Baby,
your words.
Sometimes I be like,
And I'm not mad at whatever
give
we
up.
went
don't
through.
say nothing to me.
Exactly.
You
And I
wanna
think
give up.
He's supposed
You
to look
don't
at
even
me.
want to deal
I
with
But
life.
listen, I think she's not mad at what they went through. She's okay with whatever we
Yeah.
went through. We can talk about it. I'm okay with whatever. And nothing she
Mhm.
could say didn't seem like it's gonna hurt me no more. We've been
Yeah.
through this. We talked about it. We just putting it on the front street for everybody else now.
Exactly.
So that's the attitude I got. I got that
Okay.
she's like, I'm okay with it. And if you say something
Yeah.
else, we can talk about that too.
I think she could have had another reaction. Do not
On
give
which
me
part?
Jesus. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
That
She was
story just-
listening to her.
I
think
know,
that's
that
that
was her
but-
comment.
That's
That
just
was-
her talk.
that was
No, that was
her.
like nonchalant.
It
And
was
I
just
felt
like,
like
I'm
it was
trying
like
to
a
get it.
brush off.
It was
Jesus.
Corey
just like
Jackson
that.
said
I think it was-
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's funny because I was thinking that the whole
I
time.
was
she
like,
kept saying
girl,
it.
okay.
Y'all funny.
Is your friend
Now, I ain't
problem?
mad at it because I call
You
on
know
them when
you
I
know the
need
podcast.
it.
Be
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's fine.
Mm,
But is
right.
your friend problem your problem?
No.
It depends.
No.
It see,
Yeah.
But
see
but let me
that
just stop. Wait a
also
minute.
that go
So
to
this
age.
is why
That's
I don't
age.
tell everybody everything, a friend everything, because sometimes your friend burdens can fall on you.
And
Just
they
like
do.
that energy travel.
Yep.
If your
And
friend
do.
telling you you're going through XYZ,
Mhm.
all this, all the time, every time you talk to that person, you don't think that stuff is gonna bother you.
It
If
is.
you
And
love
do.
this, like this is my sister, like
Yes.
this is my best friend.
And
You gonna
sometimes
try.
you have to
You're gonna
take a
you have
step
to-
back
Yes,
because of that.
because of it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they are going through so many things that's hurting them,
Mhm.
and
It hurts
you
you.
love them
Mhm.
so much that you don't want to see them hurt, that you
Mhm.
walk away. And it's no hard feelings. It's just that I gave you the space to be in what you need to be in, and
Mhm.
I can't be in that with you. So all of these things that you keep
Thank
going through, if you feel like you're not strong enough to come out of that, you feel
They
like
say that's-
you're
that's
not
fake.
strong enough
That's not a
to
friend.
walk
That's-
away. That's not fake. That's me being in a situation where why
Right.
would I put myself in almost a piss pot, right? If it's a porta potty and it's full of piss, why would I go jump in there knowingly that it's full of piss when every time I'm seeing the tissue steady piling up?
Wait,
You
what
steady.
we talk-
I'm talking
It's not
about a
getting better.
friendship. It's
We
not
talking
getting
about a
better.
friendship.
You steady
Your
telling
friend
me
problem.
over and over and over, and then now you don't want to walk away. You don't want to leave.
And
don't
you
wanna
ain't trying to change it.
You're not trying to do anything.
Yeah.
And you
that-
want
I'm
me to
not a
just listen
friend
to this
because I
every
stay
time.
in that.
So it
No.
will always, I will always be like, friends. So what we doing here? So
Nothing. And
what are we
nothing's
gonna do to
changing.
make your situation better? What are you gonna do? And if she don't never change her situation, guess what? That's her life, her situation.
Yep.
Yes, sometimes you do have
You
to
have
take
to
yourself
fall
You have
back.
to fall back.
Sometimes
'cause
you
it's
do.
on you.
because it
So,
it
it
be a
brings
little
you
bit.
down.
It brings you down.
It do be a little
Say
bit
you
too
think
much.
Say you have a
can-
toxic relationship friend, right?
Right.
That her and her man into it all the time, and they fighting and they into it, and you don't want to be in that space because now every time you come around, you have to be in that because if you're a real friend, you're gonna be in that.
Right.
So now you see she's not leaving, she's taking it back. You don't want
You
to.
got to fall back on that.
You don't
Yeah.
want to lose that
'Cause you
friendship
fall
because
back
this
on the- you gotta
somebody that you really love, right?
Yeah.
So what do you
Yeah.
do? The only thing you can do is say, okay, I'm going to love them from afar.
Afar. Okay.
Yeah.
If they
Okay.
need me,
Yeah.
I'm going to be
Okay,
there.
that's what I
If
was
you pick
asking.
up the phone and call
Yeah.
me, I'm gonna show up
I
for
was
you
just-
like
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
happened.
Say that.
But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be in your personal
Yeah.
space every day and sit in that misery with you. I'm
Yeah.
not
I
doing
can't.
it. But when
See,
we're
I thought I
young,
was
we
the only
do
one.
that.
We do
I
it.
We
can't.
pull up.
No.
We sit in that.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
we sit in the girl talk. We
Oh,
sit
we
in
right
the
there.
drama.
Oh, no.
We do.
I
But
right there.
when you
When
become
we were
a certain
younger.
age,
The
you
young-
gotta
the
go.
younger
That's what I'm talking
Keela.
about.
You gotta
The
do
younger-
better.
you
The
said the
younger
younger Keela
Keela.
did not.
Yes. you
Not
gotta
the
do
older
better.
Keela. I'm be like,
That's what she
Bookie
talking
Butt.
about back
What we
then.
doing here? Because
No, what?
This
No,
is
what
too
are you
much.
doing? Because I'm tired of doing it. with
Right.
you.
And,
You're right.
I'm not
You're
gonna
right.
change
I'm
you.
not.
You're right.
This your life. So
You're
if this
right.
what you choose, you can
Yeah.
choose it, baby, but I'm not gonna be here with you.
Yeah.
And if
I-
that what makes me a bad friend, then baby, I'm a bad friend.
Bad
But
friend.
I'm not
Of course.
Okay,
sitting
so
in
let's
that
get back into
misery.
this topic.
I was just about to say to get back to that.
Okay,
So
'cause
I
it's so
remember
easy to
when on
Start
them
over.
topics. I mean, not on them topics. A lot of people were sharing this, and I was amazed to see how many people
So she's a
were
bad
calling
friend.
her a bad
Everyone
friend. I was
called her
very
a bad
amazed because
friend.
I was really just caught off guard. Like, did y'all watch the episode
I'm
that I watched?
50-50. I'm not gonna just say she a
They,
good
I
friend.
didn't think.
I
so
think they did
listen,
not watch the full.
Yeah.
I don't think
They
they
didn't.
watched the
episode.
full
They
episode
couldn't.
because listen
I'm
here.
50-50 too, though.
I'm
But you know what? I just
50-50.
felt like
Mhm.
in
50-50.
any relationship, friendships, marriages, whatever relationship it is, you have to allow those people grace and
Mhm.
room to grow.
Mhm.
There is nobody perfect on this earth. There's not a
Mhm. At
perfect
all.
friend. We
Mhm.
all got a
Nope.
flaw. And I may have,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Maybe
Mhm.
mine's
Yeah.
not a liar. Maybe mine is
Yeah.
this. Maybe I'm not a jealous friend, but maybe I'm a selfish friend.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Mhm.
I'm not a showing up type of friend. You know what I mean? So
That
we
was
all
my next
have
question.
some type of flaw, but you
Yeah.
have to allow these people room to grow. So
Uh-huh.
this is the problem
But
why
how
people
long?
always, but here it is right here. This is why people are always having a revolving door of friends.
Mhm.
Y'all are so quick to cut these people off, and everybody is not disposable.
Mhm.
Everybody is not just like that. Be
Yes.
careful with them because
Mhm.
some of those people are growing in that space, and because you didn't like how they was in that
Right.
moment,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you kicked them out the door,
Yeah,
and now you don't have that
exactly.
friend no more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they could have grown out of that and been the better friend ever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
y'all. That's why
Uh-huh.
you gotta be careful. People who got a different set of friends every now and then.
Yep.
Now you got
Yeah.
a different set of.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you
Yeah.
not allowing these people to grow. You just she did this. I'm out.
You just
Yeah.
leave them alone.
That's what's wrong with y'all
Yeah.
now. But then
I
y'all
wish
sit up
there
there
was
with them.
that type of
We were
on
talking
a
about that
man.
last. I was just about to say,
Baby.
y'all was
But
talking about
it's
that last
not.
time. Y'all don't want to
It's-
call it the same, but relationships,
It
no matter
is
what
the
it is,
same.
it takes
It's
the
the
same
same.
work.
The
Exactly.
relationship
It's the
is
same.
It's the
Yeah.
same. It takes the same
It is
work.
the same.
They
You got to be
all-
willing to
The
work
only
on
thing
it.
is I ain't jumping in bed with you
Yes.
Exactly.
and kissing you.
It's the only difference.
I'm jumping in
But
bed
the
with this
base-
one.
the base of any relationship is loyalty.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
whether you my friend or not, and that's why I say
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 on the, because
Mhm.
there's no friend of mine who, if I got it like that, because okay, you saying that you didn't have liquid assets and all that,
Right.
a car, homeless, no money, all that, that's like all of the lows when you're blessing other people. You
Yeah.
have some people who say, all right, I'm done giving. Okay, we get in that moment where you be like, I'm
Mhm.
not giving nothing to nobody else. I
And
done
that's
been in
where
that
she's
moment.
at. Yeah.
I feel like she may have been in that moment at that time, be Simone,
But-
where she felt like she's not giving nothing. But if this really my ride or die, no matter what moment I'm in, if
I'ma
she
give it
need
to her.
me, I'ma be there. So that's where that best friend, that's where the best
But we don't know
jo-
when her financial struggle jumped in. She said this just happened
don't,
in a year.
But I
it
don't.
don't, but
I don't
that
think.
mean, but this
so.
is why I says we use the word best friend loosely, because
Very.
my best friend, if this is really truly your best friend, they're not gonna go through all that, and you're not gonna know about it.
Okay.
They might not.
If she didn't
They
tell her.
might not tell you. I'm gonna sense it. I'm gonna know you're going through something.
Well,
if
if this
I'm
was
really
a-
your best friend,
But
just
if
like
this
you
was a
expect
year
your
ago,
husband or your
Shekinah was
man
working
to
for
know.
her on the
Exactly.
last
She was.
podcast.
She was.
And that's when she lost everything.
Yeah.
When she quit. I mean, when they whatever they
when
did.
That's
Yeah.
why I
Ways.
believe Crystal when she said she don't believe she was just flat homeless and didn't have
She
no
never
money.
said she was flat homeless.
Th-
though.
No,
But that's
I'm
my
just saying that's
thing.
how the
She
way
lived with her
everyone's
parents.
making it.
But that's my point.
No money.
If you,
They trying
I'm
to-
sorry.
She went
Ain't
home.
nobody obligated to my
Basically.
check.
You're not,
You're not obligated to
to.
nothing.
You're
Yeah.
not.
I help my friends any chance if I can. I'm
Most
gonna help.
definitely.
You know what
We
I'm
all
saying?
will.
Mhm.
People,
I mean,
y'all
I can't
keep-
say we are.
right,
Some
but we
of us
see
will.
people on TV.
I will. 'cause,
Some of us
you
will.
know,
I'm gonna
I will.
help.
If I
But we
can, I
see
will.
people on TV in these podcasts, XYZ. We are assuming that they have this
Assuming.
lump
Sum
sums
of
of big
money.
And stop
money.
counting my
How these
pocket.
people be
Come on.
living in a high-rise building?
Stop.
She,
Don't
first
count my
off, she's
pocket.
single with no
Don't count
kids.
I tell a person.
So
I
her
need
money
you.
gonna look different. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
First
she's
off,
a
you're
celebrity.
single, celebrity with no children.
I
Your
mean,
money
my
is gonna
children.
look
My
different.
bills is
Yeah.
going to contribute to what I make.
And where was
But
her
what
Your
I'm
kid?
rent might be
Where was her
1,200,
kid
my rent
fathering?
might
might
be
be
She said I was a
1,500.
single mom. Where's
I mean,
that son
Thank
fathering?
you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he ain't
Y'all can't all
obligated to
put that
pay
on
her
B.
bills.
Hmm.
He
And
ain't
she not
obligated to.
either.
Wait,
And
what?
B. Simone not
But the
either.
daddy ain't obligated to pay her
B.
bills.
Simone not either.
Yeah, and she's
She's not.
not. And
So she
she's
was
not.
saying
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
single
You got,
parent,
she
you know
got
what I'm
all
saying?
this
Like-
family you can go back to.
Yeah.
Why is it all falling on B Simone? Because she ain't right.
Because
check.
she's a celebrity
but
best
see,
friend.
That's what
Because
see,
she
this
was
is
helping
what the
everybody
internet
else.
do.
Yeah.
And you
but
called
wasn't
it your
y'all?
best
But
friend.
y'all probably was in a tight spot.
that's
I
why-
doubt if
that's-
you're my best friend.
That's-
not passing checks
that's
out
what I
over here
said.
and looking past your
believe
broke
That's
self.
why I
Yeah.
used the
I can't
word
believe
that doesn't make sense.
allegedly.
Doesn't make
Because she ain't
It
say
doesn't
she was
make
her best
sense.
friend on the For Sure
But
podcast.
I
I
think-
think call her sissy. That's her family.
But I also think
Sissy,
this
best
happened in
That
friend.
all
a
them words, all those words,
it's all
Don't
lumped
matter.
up into the
Thrown
same
It's
thing.
all
out
same
here
thing.
loosely
Okay, ladies.
though. They thrown out loosely.
I think that is. I think whatever they went through and her not offering her the money at that time, because she got so much resentment held that you could see it. She keeps referring back to that moment where you was giving checks. I saw you get
because she gave
She's
checks
hurt
to
by it.
other
She
people.
held
I
that
understand
So
that,
that
but
means
I'm
you have
telling
something
you.
to give. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
That means you have something
But
to
she
give.
was talking about you didn't come offer to her. So my thing is,
Yes.
I do not believe that whenever this took place that they were in a good space.
That's what I thought.
I don't believe it was
can't
in a
say
good space
'cause I
'cause
wasn't
I
there.
can't. We can't say, right?
Yep.
I'm
Well,
just
she
thinking
was-
of logic. I can't sit next to a best friend and watch. Oh, your car got repoed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you moving out your apartment? Hold on, let me go get him this check over here. Hey, you need
Right,
help?
I can
Here
see
you
Exactly.
are.
Because
she said
it. I don't see
She
it
said,
happening
"I
that
seen
way.
you give checks
Yeah.
to
That
other
doesn't mean
people.
you heard about it. I
I
don't
seen
see.
you do it.
That could be
I
her hearing
seen
about
you
it.
do it.
I mean,
True. Or
but
saw it.
You know
I
what I'm
looked
saying?
at it
She
as
said it. I don't know.
they could have fell out.
I
They
think
could have
they
fell
fell
That's what I
out
was
We have a
and
thinking.
not
viewer.
been talking.
Read what Corey said.
She say she watched her give strangers the help she could have used. She never asked for or felt entitled to her giving it to her. It was more of
A wow
moment.
Yeah.
And most
Yeah.
definitely.
But
That's
what
why
you say? They
yeah.
could have been in a space that.
they could have been in a space where we're not like that right now.
Mhm.
But
Right.
even if we're not like that right
I
now,
still give.
this is what I'm saying. If that's really your best friend,
You gonna
Mhm.
give
and
her
we're
something.
not like
You gonna
that
do
right now,
something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know
Yep.
it's from me, even if it's anonymously, even if I'm just sending
So you're
True.
a food truck
Do
over
y'all
there to
believe
give
she
y'all
had it or she don't have it?
who?
Do
This
y'all
Simone?
believe she got something or
She
don't?
gave some to somebody else.
We're
so
not
she
talking
had
about
it.
that. Let that part go. Do y'all believe
She
that
said
she had
that, though.
something
We
at the
can't
moment?
let
I
that
think
go.
But
the
not
friend
at
thinks
this
she got more
moment.
than what she got.
Not at the,
I don't
that's
think
what I'm
that
trying
either.
to say. But
Are you talking about? Do we believe that she has what like
she
what
had
she
the
was
money
saying,
at
like
that
the-
moment to give it to her.
Yes,
I believe she did.
I believe
I
she
don't
did.
think so. This girl talk. If y'all watch any of her other packs, she talk about her financial situation a lot.
Well, yeah, she do.
She talks about it a lot.
Right. She talk about her not
But
being
if you-
able to
but she-
shop.
but she
No.
also,
Yeah, I think that was
wanted
a bad
to shop.
but she
example.
also broke down how she
That
bought
is a bad
how she bought cars, how she put down payment on houses,
No.
how she
See, you
paid for
spending
divorces.
money before you got to make it back. That was her problem,
what
which
I'm
is a lot of
saying?
people
Right.
do.
She,
You get
she
money
don't know
and
how to
you
manage her
leave.
money good.
Yeah, but right now her money is tied up into businesses and
But that's
stuff
what's
like
wrong.
that.
Y'all get money, then y'all start spending before you
So-
I
able to
don't
make
think
something
she had
back.
it to give her at that much
She
to
could
get her
have.
the way.
She could have.
She could have gave her something
But what
though,
is that much? We putting a price
to
on
get
it.
her a house.
There's no
to get her
not
out.
even a house. We putting a price on it. You could have made sure her car didn't get repossessed. You could have made sure that she didn't do. You could have put some extra money in her pocket. You could have gave her a job. You could have put her on to a business.
She
and
had a
said-
job. B. Simone did give her a job.
right? And you
Yeah, she
they-
did give
She
her
was
a job.
still working.
No,
she never said
she
she
was-
didn't have a job.
No, she when they quit that podcast or whatever they did on the first podcast, that's when she wasn't working no more. That's when she fell into financial hardships
Okay.
or whatever it was. From what I gathered on the internet, I can't say because she haven't spoken. B. Simone haven't spoke. Was that Shekinah picked up, moved her life to where
To
B.
different,
Simone was at
yeah.
to work on that first podcast.
They
But
all did.
Even
They all
with
did.
all of that being said,
They all did.
I'm
too.
not rich.
Yeah.
But it's a
I'm
risk.
not. If I have $100 right now, and all of these things is going on with the person that I
Mhm.
call my person, besides my husband, 50 of that gonna go to him.
Yeah.
We're going
Yeah.
to split that.
Yeah.
If you really in that predicament, and if you rather,
If you can give it, don't just say if it.
no,
Because
even if I can. If that's
I
why
can't
I
give
said,
it, I
if
can't.
if I can, I can.
Oh,
But I
you
said if
can,
I had
okay.
100, if I had $100, 50 of that is we gonna split it. You gonna eat something,
And
and
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
eat
eat something.
I agree on
But
that.
what I'm saying is, I can't say that I only got $100 and I gave you 25 and I gave Crystal 25, but I didn't
I
give
give
her
her nothing.
anything. But this is my best friend. It's not.
But see, I think
That's
it's more
all
to
I'm
the story
saying.
about that. It's something I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
something
think it's
missing.
She's
there.
not Big
Something
Simone
why-
best friend.
If you pay attention to when they talk about
She's
that
not her
moment,
best friend.
something is
Mhm.
still missing.
It's definitely something.
It's
It's
especially
something
when she
missing.
said, because it was one part I did like what Shekinah did say, and you could tell the maturity in her as well. Is
a
that
lot.
She was like, but I had to think like
You don't
It's
owe me
not your
nothing.
it's not on
responsibility.
her.
It's
This is-
not.
this is my
It's
thing.
not.
And
Your
I
journey.
had to
So
go
guess
get
what?
it. This is
That's
my
why she's not
everybody
mad.
has.
But that's why she's not
Like-
mad.
But that's
So
the mindset
I won't. I
that a lot
can't
of
be
people
mad.
have.
And
I
that's why
cannot
she
be
can
mad because you
give
don't
Rachel
owe me
a
anything.
raise.
I can't hear none of y'all.
You don't
That's-
owe me nothing.
Really? Oh,
You don't owe me nothing though, so I can't be mad.
because
Wait,
she
what did you just
don't.
say?
But that's the
She
mindset
don't.
that everyone has in this world. That's your best friend. You
Mhm.
gotta give it to her. I
No,
don't got.
I
You know, I got
don't.
kids. I got bills of my own. I'm
You
not gonna
do.
put myself in a hole.
Hell, I ain't even got to give it to
put myself
family.
in a hole because
You
you're in a
don't.
hole.
But you know how many people are
But
sitting
guess
there
what?
waiting
I
on her to
got
pass
so
the
many.
check.
I got
You know
so
what I mean?
many
Like, you
family
ain't
members
homeless,
as
man.
well that
Hold
you
on.
might not give it to.
Exactly.
But when we use the word best friend, that's what got
That's why that
everybody in the
word
uproar.
is ridiculous. It's kitty.
I
But
don't.
Very
that's why I'm
kidding.
saying I don't
Very.
think that's the
Forget that
title
word.
for them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's their title.
I-
I think that
I think they're just
Shekinah
friends.
just threw that word out
They've
there,
been friends for years.
and they grew friends from a mutual
Yeah.
friend, which is
Yeah.
who she was originally
Yeah.
on the
I got
podcast
it.
But
with,
they're very
who was
close.
her best
Mhm.
friend for 25 years,
Yeah.
who she
I gotta
called
take
her
this
best
off.
friend,
Yeah.
B. Simone. She
Yeah.
called
But you know, I think
the
I like
other lady
their-
her best friend.
See, I don't know. Like, yeah, I never got a chance to really dig into that one. I definitely want to go back and look into that.
And,
But
and guess what?
I
They're
like
not friends
their-
anymore.
Yeah,
we
I
can
know.
dig because I
leave
watched,
it alone. About it.
They're
I
not
watch
friends
I
anymore.
watch
Megan.
Megan.
That one.
I watch Megan.
They're
Ashley.
not friends
I follow
anymore.
her. I
We're
love
gonna have
it.
to
I
come
know.
back for that one.
They're not.
I know.
So have
After
y'all-
20 years.
So do y'all think
But they was
No.
off and
they were
on.
off and on? So
But that's
a lot-
see, the friendship that I'm watching on this couch. Okay, I don't know about some other people. I've only heard this. I definitely want. That was deep. That was bigger than this one. I
Yeah.
think that
Yes.
was way bigger.
yeah.
But
It
these
was.
ladies that sit on this couch though, I like their friendship.
I do too.
I think
Mhm.
they're building a spiritual, real, authentic, makeup
Mhm.
off, naked, full,
Mhm.
just naked friendship because they are literally telling each other their flaws in the moment. A lot of you
With
are
no
not gonna
attitude.
get people to admit these things to you.
At all.
How do we
Yeah,
know
I
they
mean-
didn't fight after?
They could have, and that's
They
fine.
could have, but
They
all we
could've.
talking about
They're
is what we
humans.
seen.
Just
They
saying.
All we talking about is what we
They
seen.
could've.
I believe
'Cause I
there
probably
were
would've been
some
ready to
stuff
square up.
probably
There were some
said.
moments.
Yeah, because B. Simone gives that vibe.
But
is-
Shekinah doesn't.
It
But I
gotta
hope
be
that they
about
stay
me.
transparent
Doesn't
with
give
each
me that
other.
B. Simone
Which
gives that
one?
vibe
The
for
friend.
me. It has
A
to
good
be
friend.
about
Shekinah.
me.
That's
She
what
doesn't
I
give
got
me
from
that
it.
Yes.
rowdy
I
man, I'm
felt
fight my
as
friend.
if
Oh,
in
yeah.
that moment, that's why I
Yes.
said it was not about the
Nah.
money for me that made me feel like she was a bad friend.
Mhm.
It was when she spreaded her good news to her. She made it about her.
So-
she
Yeah.
she made
I
it.
didn't think that
She
was bad
turned
either.
it
I
like a
didn't.
narcissistic man when
Boom.
you
There
check
you
him
go.
about something that he do and
There
he
you
flips
go.
it. She
Mhm.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
But
She
she
brought-
checked herself.
but I don't care. You can always.
But you got to give her grace for it.
I am. That's why I said I'm 50.
Because we all got to think about it.
because she
Yeah, I
did
agree.
correct
Okay.
herself.
She corrected
But
herself.
in that moment, why
Mhm.
in that moment
find
couldn't
it.
somebody else shine?
Yeah.
That means what?
So was she jealous? Have y'all
Yes.
ever been jealous of a friend? You think she was jealous of
I
her
think
friend?
she was jealous.
I don't think she was so much
I
jealous.
think
I
it
think it was a mixture of all of that, right? I think, but it also like what she hit on. That's why you got to really sit and listen because it was more so of the hurt. The past hurt. I do believe that B.
Something
Simone is a
happened.
selfish person, but at the same time, I do believe that, which I feel like we all are to a
Yeah.
certain extent,
Uh-huh.
but I do feel like she has, you know how you got that one friend that's just selfish as a friend?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I do think that she's that type of person, but I do think that she's trying to
To
change
change.
those
Friend.
things,
Yes.
right?
I think that's why
and
she's asking.
That's why she's losing a lot of her friends. I
Mhm.
do believe that that's the root of it, but at the same time, back to what I was saying, that she said that it's her trauma.
It is.
That was her trauma for her.
Mhm.
So she checked it. Boom.
And y'all have to realize
Right
when
then
you're
and there.
growing, you're going to lose
Thank
friends.
you.
You
are.
You're
are.
not
Thank
going to
you.
stay
are.
with friends that's not
Thank you.
growing.
Because
guess what?
We
We
have
evolve.
to grow. Y'all got to
Thank
give us grace.
We
You-
evolve.
Thank
We
you.
evolve.
We
Y'all
evolve.
have to remember
Thank you.
this.
Thank
We
you.
do.
And the only reason
I wasn't
why
where
didn't
I
call
was
her
at a
that
year ago.
friend-
I'll be honest.
Yes.
A year ago, I
You
was
don't
not
want to keep
here.
putting up with the same stuff, just like a relationship.
I did not
have
It's
that
the same
mindset.
as a friendship.
Exactly.
I'm going to grow now. Are you going to grow
Mhm.
with me?
Are you
going to
grow apart? Yeah.
That's why I don't
You-
think
you do
that
have to
they have
understand.
the same type of feelings with the friendship. I think
But-
she feel a certain way and she feels a certain
And
way.
that's okay.
I don't think B.
You know what?
Simone feel the way she feel about her. About
Mhm.
her.
Yeah.
That's what I got. You may
Mhm.
feel that way about me, and at one point I may have felt that way about you. But something happened that made me say, "This is not that anymore."
But you know what? This is why I said to understand that openness and that realness, you really just got to get out of la la land. No one is perfect. Get out of your emotions.
Yep.
Get out of
Yes,
what you
you
think
gotta get out of
a
your
friendship
yep.
is supposed to be.
Mhm.
Unlearn
Nothing
whatever
perfect.
you knew
Yes.
before.
Mhm.
We were not taught
Yeah.
the proper way.
At all.
Because just as much
I
as in
don't think so,
relationships, marriages,
Mhm.
things happen and it's going to change the way I think of you.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
Because I
growth.
grew.
Thank you.
I'm growing.
Yeah.
I'm
growing.
going to change
Yeah,
how I
that's
think
true.
of
I'm going
you.
to
I
change.
don't think of you, my
The
fifth grade
same.
friend, the same.
Thank
you.
You're
Oh
different.
my God.
I'm different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the good thing when it comes to these relationships, friendships, and all this stuff, we have to just be
But
the
first
allow
thing they
grace,
say, you change.
understand that we're growing.
Mhm.
We're gonna
Yeah.
grow every day.
They
Yeah.
The
talked about
person
that
you in your
too.
marriage with right now,
They
you're
talked about that.
The person you're in
Yeah.
your marriage with right now, you're gonna think of him totally different in 20 years.
Mhm.
Because
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Baby.
Tomorrow.
He's not gonna be the same.
No.
In the next few minutes.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's why I said appreciate those friendships of the people who are
Okay.
open and willing to talk to you about their BS.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Because if I'm open and willing to tell you what the heck
Mhm.
is going on in my head, that means I'm willing to change.
Yes.
Be afraid of those
Mhm.
sneaky ones.
And
Be
so-
afraid of those.
Sometimes
secret
it takes a
sneaky
season
Yeah.
to be by yourself. Respect
Yeah.
that. Respect
Yeah.
that sometimes I need to be by myself
Yeah.
to get
Mhm.
through this growth.
And I
I
do think
can't
that's
do
where
it
she's
with
at
you.
too.
And it's okay. You
Uh-huh.
got to respect it. Don't mean that
Yeah.
I don't love you or care for my friendship.
Mhm.
It just means that I got to sit back and get myself together.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
We
Well,
have
that
to
in this
respect that.
season,
Yep.
because she asked her, like, well, do you feel like I'm changing in a bad way?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Oh,
she
yeah, I
said,
love
I
that.
don't
No,
feel
I
like you
love
changing
that.
in a bad
Yeah,
way.
I
I
love
just
that.
feel like you
Uh-huh.
changing.
I love
You're
that.
And of
changing,
course,
yeah.
if I'm growing, some things that
Uh-huh.
might have used to be funny, not funny
It's
no
not
more.
But
funny.
and watch that part.
Yes.
They're
Mhm.
so it wasn't that. So B Simone is on her different walk right now, right?
Mhm.
She's in this space that
Yeah.
she's in, right?
So
Yeah.
she
The
is
friend is still in
changing.
her.
She's
And
Her
her
she turned
all-
up different
yes.
phase, right? And you
Yeah.
saw when she said
Mhm.
something like, "Because I'm not drinking," but she's sitting there with her drink. She wasn't judging her
Like,
in the
drink
moment. She
one
just
for
was
me,
like,
you know?
you know. But they
Get you
on
one
different
drink
So
for
we
stages
on
right
different
now.
pages.
They're on different
Yeah.
And
pages.
they not trying to
and,
change each other.
and they're not
Right.
trying. Don't change me. I'm not
And I'm
changing
not
you.
changing you.
Just be
Yeah.
here while we
Yeah.
grow, man. I hope we
Yes.
make it out on the other side. That's all you
Yes.
can.
But a
have.
lot
All
of
you
you
can
ain't
do.
even gotta do that, and people still want to accept that.
Yeah.
Definitely. They're not going to
True.
accept it.
Especially
Because
your
Because
normally
don't act
when-
like you ain't ever been around somebody like me, baby. If I ain't got a
Especially
drink,
your
oh, I'm not drinking.
You can't have
Ugh,
fun.
you ain't got no
Yeah.
I'll
drink.
be like, well, more for me.
I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah.
used to be like that. I used to be one of those people
We all
like,
was there before.
why you ain't turning up? Like, you ain't gonna have a drink? Oh, you whack.
Yeah.
Why you whack for that?
We all was
Respect
there.
boundaries, and that's boundaries.
The
Yeah.
thing
You
about
gotta-
it is,
yes.
people
Yeah.
look at change as a bad thing.
They do.
And
They do.
change is not a bad thing. It's
It's
like
not.
if you're not
It's a
growing,
beautiful thing.
what are you doing? Like
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
I look in the mirror and I still feel like I'm doing the same things when I was 25,
Mhm.
like how do that make sense? Like
Mhm.
how do you not see that you should be
Yeah.
doing things different now?
Mhm.
So if I'm still doing the same thing, it's a problem. The
Yeah.
same with a friendship. If
Mhm.
it's not growing and evolving,
no.
if all we have is let's party and sit at
Let's
the table
drink.
and talk about people, that is not a friendship no more.
So-
Not
If
at
we
all.
can't
Yeah.
sit up here and talk about hurt things or building a business together or the Bible or anything, like if everything is just stuck in this one box,
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, eventually
Yeah.
something has
This
to
is
change.
gonna grow. We're
So
gonna grow
on-
we
apart.
have to, we
We're
got
gonna
to
grow
go.
apart.
So
It's
on
the
the
same with
couch-
relationship-
On
any
the couch, they
relationship.
ask each other a lot of questions, and I liked it, some of those
Mhm.
questions, because it's not what we get out of friendships
Thank
these
you.
days.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes conversations can be very difficult, and you're just
Mhm.
not ready to have that conversation, and
Yeah.
that's fine.
Mhm.
But when you do have that conversation, one of the conversations that I liked it that she asked,
Being able to have
she
it.
asks, "Do you think I'm a good friend? Do you think you're a good friend?
I think I'm a great friend.
If a friend was to say something to you, what would you think your friends would say your benefits are as a good friend?"
I'm there for my friends.
Mhm.
I'm a rider. I'm gonna come. If you need me to blow up balloons, change a diaper, build a crib, fight your man, fight your mama, come back, blow up a car, whatever you need me to do, I feel like I'm gonna be there to do it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, friends get tired.
Ugh,
You
preach it.
get tired
Preach it.
of
I was thinking that.
Come on.
just doing that. Like with any relationship, it requires reciprocation. You have
Yep.
to give me something. I might give you money. You may can't give me money,
Yeah.
Right.
but you
And that's
gotta
okay.
give me
And that's
something.
okay.
Give me life.
That's okay.
Give me
Speak
another
life
Let's
friend.
enjoy
into
each
me.
other.
Give me
Yeah.
a
Give me
bubble that
time.
make me feel
Yeah.
jolly. Give me
You
time.
know,
give me
give
a
me
smile.
something.
Give me something. Like I feel like I give so much as a friend, as a sister, as a mother, and it'd be like you be waiting for when is my turn.
Yep.
And people look at it as material.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for material because I know everybody don't have the
Mhm.
money.
And everything
Money
that you
is not
have.
everything.
It's
I
not.
might can go
And
buy
that's
you
what people look at.
50,000
Mhm.
balloons for your birthday,
Mhm.
set the room up and all that, but that might make your day because you can't do that for yourself. For me,
Mhm.
if you come and just lay in my bed with me and watch TV with me, and that might make my
Mhm.
day.
Okay.
I might just need somebody to just be there for me.
Mhm.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
So
just,
do you think you're a good friend?
Oh yeah, I think I'm a good friend. I think I'm a good friend. I have had my friends tell me, "Oh, you're a good listener. You know, you are there for me when I need somebody to talk to and give. Like I give good advice. That's what they say. Because I don't like saying, oh, I know I give this, I know I give that. Like, no, I go off of what people say. So yeah, I'm there for people. I know for sure. I know that for sure. I know I can be there for people, like my friends, especially my friends. Even if you're not my friend, I know you need a listening ear. You know, I'll be like, hey, call me. Here go my number. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know what somebody is going through. So I do believe in just being there for people, just people, period.
It's what matters the most.
Because that's what matters. I think that's why we were put here on this earth, to do life with each other.
Give each other grace.
Yeah, and give each other grace. I don't think that we are supposed to just be here and be in our own little bubble and just be selfish. No. Even when I don't want to talk to you, even when I've been dealing with my own stuff 24/7.
And that's hard. People don't understand that.
I don't want to talk to nobody else. I don't want to do it, but I know that I have to. So no, I do know I am a good friend. And sometimes I have felt like B. Simone to a certain extent,
selfish a little bit.
where I
tired.
feel like I'm tired. I've done this for this person. I've done it for that person. Okay, no. Now I moving forward. I have set boundaries.
You have to.
I have set boundaries, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I have. When you cross that boundary, I'll give you a hey, let's have a conversation. Yeah. I'm all about having a conversation. Let's have a conversation, even if I might not like it.
That's my bad flaw.
Let me sit. I know we talked about that the last time I was here. Because I was like, oh.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
So what about you, Chris? Do you think you're a good friend?
I think I am a great friend.
Come on, B.
I think you are too, Chris.
I think you are too.
I am a great friend.
I
think I was blessed with that feeling to just want to pour into others all the time.
And you do.
And that's all I ever wanted to do. Like, even with friends, I'm always the friend you're gonna call. I was definitely that friend that would pull up and beat up your baby daddy. I've done plenty of them. I beat up a few. I beat up a few. One in particular 7 times. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I've always been that friend. I'm a listening ear. I'm gonna give you advice. Yeah. It took a long time for me to give you unwanted advice because I was always that friend. Just want you to feel good, feel better. So I didn't give you bad advice. Yeah. Hold on. I didn't give you
Y'all want to stress me out.
Okay, wait. So yes, I was not that friend to give, what I should say. She made me laugh. She made me laugh. Okay, yes.
Give it.
So I was that friend who was always just trying to make you feel better and feel good, and I wasn't giving the real. And it took me a long time to get to that point. Like, I got to start breaking my friends' feelings a little bit, hurting their heart.
Raw dog.
And it was so hard to do.
Ma'am.
I was like, oh, friend, feel better. We got to do this. You want to be back with him? Let's figure out how to make him better.
Yeah.
Like, no, he got to go. Yeah. But I was always that friend. I'm always allowing grace. I'm always giving advice. I'm always there. I'm pulling up no matter what. And that was just me. I always just wanted to pour into that. So I think I'm a great, great friend. I think what my friends will say about me now, if they say, I don't think nobody would say I'm a bad friend right now. I think they are looking at me now in the season that I'm in.
That's the first thing.
They're telling me now about me. And I love the friends who stuck it out with me through this moment, because they're looking at me like you going into your confidence more, and you being bold, and you coming out of that dark season.
I know. I love
and in that season, you have to worry about yourself. Yes. So I understand that we wasn't in the front center no more. And I'm so happy to friends who allowed me this grace this moment, because I'm not gonna say I've been selfish, but I just been locked into myself for a while. And they're like, girl, it took you too long to get there. I'm happy that you're there. So every friend, I have not had a friend that just ditched me for that. They just like, I love this for you. Yes. Call me when you're out of it.
Kira, finally. Are you a good friend?
Kira, are you a good friend?
Jesus.
I have been I love my friends. I'm honestly say that I really love my friends. I believe I am a good friend, but I have been, when I say have been in the deepest, these I can say past 3 years, like B. Simone, been trying to find myself. I can be selfish at points, and I realize that. It's not that I don't love my friends. It's just that I want to make myself happy.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find myself. Yeah. So I can't be that friend that's pulling up with you right now, that's want to listen to all your problems right now, because I'm trying to still solve my problems.
You're trying to take care
now, of my life may look good on the internet or outside to you or what somebody telling you that I'm doing, but baby, I'm still having breakdowns in the car.
Mhm.
I'm still doing things behind the scene. I'm still going outside having me a little drink in the car, just trying to get out of mommy mode. Like
Right.
it's so much that I have going on, but I love my friends. Like you said, I ride for my friends. Hey, something going on, we do that. I don't let nobody just, sit there and be disrespectful. We check each other.
Yeah.
Now, I could do more communication with some friends. We do need to have some conversations. Definitely. We definitely need to have some conversations. Am I ready to have those conversations yet? No,
Mhm.
because I'm still working on myself.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I want it to be like B. Simone and her friend. I want us to be able to actually find out the source. Like, where did it go
Mhm.
wrong at?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
can we fix it? Where can we get? That's where I'm at in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
when it comes down to my friend, I'm open to listening to everything. But if you keep coming to me, I'm tired of it
Yeah.
because you got to change it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm such a good friend that your hurt is my hurt.
Your
Mhm.
hurt is,
And
That's
you got to
the
realize that your
I
hurt is my
carry-
hurt. I care too much, and
I
it's carrying
care
with
too
me.
much. I
That
carry
energy
it.
is coming on me, and it's hurting me more than it's
We're
hurting
not
you, and you don't even know.
supposed to do that, but you ain't
And
supposed
I'm
to
not
do that.
supposed
But
to do that.
you can't
but
help
you can't help
it.
it
I
because you
know.
love your friend.
But
Yeah.
I think it's like a thing where you got to practice that repetitiously. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, okay, when she comes in, I'm just listening.
Let it go.
I'm
As
listening.
soon as
I
she
can't,
done.
I can't
I
put
can't
that on
let
my-
it go.
Don't
that fast.
allow
But I
everybody
think
to
it's
trauma
not-
dump on you.
it's
I've been
hard.
I
there.
think it comes from
It's
when
I've
you
been there.
have
It's
somebody
hard to-
who
but
you
it's
know
hard. It's hard.
deserve
Yeah.
so much. Like when you have a friend and you know they deserve so much and they
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
giving,
and they're so
and
sweet.
they so willing and they stand up,
Yes.
and you see them get brought down to almost
It hurts.
nothing. It
Mhm.
hurts you.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you have
yeah.
somebody and you look and you
Yes.
thought this was the person that was
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
sitting next to you,
Yes.
but they let
Mhm.
all of these things tear them down. It hurts.
Mhm.
And people don't talk
and they
about
don't
that.
see their worth.
They don't think, people don't think that
Mhm.
friendship breakups
Yeah.
is like
It's a bad.
Oh.
It hurts.
like
It
it hurts
is.
really because this is
I'm
your
still dealing with two that
person.
still hurts my
Yeah.
feelings to this day.
I
It
just started feeling better about
It hurts.
about two
Yeah.
girls that I had to let go. Like,
Yes.
It
Yeah.
hurts.
It hurts.
yeah, it does hurt, but like Shakana said, that's their journey. You gotta allow them
You-
to walk.
yes.
You
that
do.
Yes.
You do.
right?
Yes.
And it's not easy to do.
It's not.
It's not. You know, that's
Because you
coming-
done grew up together and you
Yeah.
thinking you always gonna be my friend, but I done
Yeah.
grew up here and you still down here.
Yes.
It's a difference. I
Yes.
can't grow with you and
I
you
can't
still
grow.
down
I
here.
can't do it.
You
Yeah,
know,
you just can't.
I talk about that all the time. Like, because
Mhm.
I'm finally over the friends that I did lost that I was really, really hurt by. I'm over it. It still kind of hurt because you see how it was supposed to be.
Mhm.
If we had
Right.
the tools that we're talking about today,
Mhm.
we would have made it on the other side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, if we was able to have those open conversations,
Hard ones.
if we was able to have those hard conversations, we would have
Yeah.
made it on the side.
But
Mhm.
you know, we're
And
not
it
taught
sucks
this.
because I definitely had I've had that hard. I tried to have that
Mm-hmm.
hard conversation with this particular friend, and she wasn't ready for that. She just wasn't there yet, and it sucks because I know
Yeah.
it would have made it to the other side.
I think women, we don't do that. We don't have those conversations on why
Mhm.
did you make me feel like
We don't.
this,
We don't.
or
Yeah.
why you didn't show up for me like this.
Mhm.
I think we just go about our separate ways,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like they say, with a man, you will call and check
Yep.
them and be like,
Yeah.
why you do this?
My
Or
friends
why-
Yeah.
text
But
me
with
that
your
too.
Yeah.
friend,
My
you would
friends
just
text me that.
let it ride out, and I don't know
I hate
why.
that.
I don't know why.
I just
Well,
It's
I
bad.
have had those hard conversations, and she just kept doing the same shit.
And those are the friends you let go.
And I had to say,
and those are the ones you gotta let
That's
go.
bad. You be like, okay, baby.
We had some
You
questions,
know,
right
boo-boo.
quick.
What questions do we have in this
One,
chat?
could your friends be friends with your enemy?
I don't think I've had a friend with an enemy.
I have.
I'm saying, like, if you had a friend and you had an enemy, could your friends still be friends with the enemy and y'all
What
not
kind of enemy is this?
an enemy?
I
An enemy
have.
is an enemy.
I have.
You-
haven't
you
had
can
no
be
friend that
friends.
was
No.
with-
I'm not
You had
saying
a friend do
I
that
have
to
had
you.
a friend that did that to me, and she actually was at one point an enemy of both of ours, but then they made up, and then I was still like, yeah, I
On the
ain't messing
outside.
with her, right? So I eventually had to cut her off
Mm.
because my business was coming back to me.
Oh,
nah.
Yeah.
So if
Like,
y'all
So she
big
threw her up
enemies.
under the bus. She threw
Yeah.
her up under the bus because she actually contacted me and was like, "Hey, so you said blah 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 blah."
Oh my god.
And I said, "Oh wow." So when I seen her, I waited till I seen her, and I said, "Hey, so you told her such and such?" I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm just letting you know." I didn't deny it. I said, "We had a cold conversation." I said, "But yeah, I'm good on you." I'm good on
So
you.
can you be
So I let it
friends
go.
with your friends with friends with?
I'm not doing
it's-
that.
that's-
For me, loyalty.
I can't trust you.
Loyalty just
think it was
everybody
coming
want to
I
say they
think it'll come down
loyal.
to trust.
They
I'm
want to
still
say
trying to think,
if my I can't even tell my sister. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If I tell my sister I don't like somebody, baby, she hates you forever.
oh God,
Even
that's
if
my
I
cousin.
talk back
Yeah.
to you,
Oh my
baby,
God, I got a
you
cousin
talking about
like
a
that.
loyal rider, baby.
Jesus.
My sister gonna be like, I don't care if you made back up
That's
with
why
her,
you
baby.
can't tell certain people.
We
stuff.
hate her forever.
Ever.
Okay. Because the loyalty in us is like that. So it's like, how you friends with her if she hate me?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. What does that look like?
I
I think
don't
that go back to
understand
that
it.
one podcast y'all had did about the friendship thing,
did.
about being loyal and what's like a good friend.
Mhm.
Like, I don't really think that
You can't
can
play both
do that.
sides.
I don't really think you can do that.
I
You
think
could
it'll
be cordial.
You can be cordial, yes,
Okay.
but I don't
That's
think
it.
you can really do
You
that.
could be cordial.
I think I would. Yeah, I don't think I can do it. I think I would just be cordial, and I probably would never tell you nothing, ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
But that's how
Happy birthday.
the friendships will just fall off. It'll fall off the
Yeah.
bone because it's
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
you gonna be thinking, what are you
So
saying to
we
her?
gotta-
Are you
So,
telling her my
I
business?
really
Close
like
this
it
out.
this.
I-
Yeah, I
yeah.
think we got to give each other grace.
We do.
You know,
Yeah.
we got to stop judging a book by its cover as well.
Yes.
You know, everybody was just on a hate ban of be
Oh, because
small.
I went in like, oh
you
no,
know,
I ain't gonna like this shit.
So we got to start looking at stuff.
She
more.
whack for that.
But thank y'all for following us today.
Thank y'all for listening to us tonight.
Thanks for listening.
Check being with us. I don't know if it's next Wednesday, but it may be the Wednesday after. Just make sure you look out for us on a Wednesday.
We here on the
7
Wednesdays.
p.m. And this was good, ladies.
It was.
On all
Yes.
platforms.
Give y'all friends some grace.
Yes.
If she tell you she was jealous in a moment, allow her to be that, and then tell her to fix that.
Yeah, allow her
Right.
to sit in
What
that.
is it? It's there. It is.
Yeah.
It's not about what is it? It's okay to feel those things, but
Yeah.
it's not okay to stay there.
She's human.
Yeah.
Get up out of it.
Don't
Get
stay
up
in
out of
it.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all. Thank
Have
y'all.
a good week.
Okay.
It worked.